How's it going and welcome back. It's officially fall. The nights are a little chillier, the morning's a little cooler, and tomorrow's the first day of October and I love it. Now, if you've been with me for a while, you know that there's two subjects. Well, three, but we're going to talk about the two right quick. Two subjects that I really enjoy talking about. Video games. Well, I don't really talk too much. I don't talk too much about video games out here. But anyways, video games and the paranormal. Yes. The paranormal is a subject that absolutely fascinates me. And I know that this channel is called The Modern Retro Gamer, but the first video that I put on this channel, the very first one, was me talking about my house being haunted. So, if you ever go back and watch that video, don't laugh. That was my first one, man. That was my first one. I didn't have a personality. I was just like, hey, how's it going? And welcome to my channel. I can't even remember what I said, man. I was just like a zombie. I was so scared of being in front of a camera. I was like, and everything was monotone and I didn't know how to talk. I didn't have a personality back then. I really don't. I still don't have a personality. What are we talking about here? Anyways, but yeah. The paranormal is one of my favorite subjects that I really enjoy talking about. Like I said, I've talked about this before, about my house being haunted, so I'm not going to go into that whole thing. But, you know, the paranormal is something that I've always kind of been into, but at the same time, it also, it scared me a little bit. Not anymore. Not anymore, you know. Like I said, living in a haunted house for like a year and a half, I kind of got used to it. You know, we'd have you know, footsteps in the hallway, knocking on the walls, followed by children laughing. That was freaky. I seen a shadow in the house one time. I've been touched in my back. The lights would turn off in the bathroom when my son's taking a shower. Running down the hallway. Now that one, that's the one that really got me. That's the one that, man, made my hair on my arm stand straight up. The running down the hallway, dude. I'll talk about that here in a second. But yeah, you know, it was every night. Every night I would hear footsteps in the hallway, and I thought it was my son, and it wasn't my son. He'd be asleep in the back room. You know, like I said, this happened every night, and I kind of got used to it. The knocking on the walls and stuff. I got used to it. So now it doesn't scare me as much. I have friends that are like, you know, the paranormal, that subject, that scares them. It really does. And I'm pretty sure that, you know, it scares a lot of people, and it did me as well. I didn't have an understanding of it, and I have an understanding of it now. You know, how does it scare me as much? You know, I see people and I'll watch videos where they'll be like filming in like a cemetery by themselves. And I'm thinking, you know, like to this day, I'm thinking, man, how the hell could you do that? How can you like walk through a cemetery at night, film a whole video alone, right? And I know there's people out there like they're not really alone. Yeah, they are. They're alone. They'll be walking through like a house that's supposedly haunted, alone. That's one thing I don't want to do, or one thing I wouldn't do. You know, would I be scared walking through a cemetery alone? Not really. I mean, yeah, I kind of would be. I mean, who wouldn't, right? But it's not like I wouldn't be able to do it. Maybe back then I wouldn't be able to do it. Now I probably could. There's only two things that would scare me about that, really. A spirit or entity attaching itself to me and coming back home with me, or getting the cops call on me, and I don't need that kind of shit right now. You know, I wouldn't want the cops calling me and then me getting in trouble. It's not trespassing. The cemetery that we have here, you don't. We have two. One, you can't be there after dark. They keep the gates locked, and another one, it's not that far from my house. Actually, they leave the gates open and people go in there at night. And I've been in there myself, and that one's pretty freaky. That's the one they say is like pretty haunted. The haunting that I had here at the house, it wasn't that bad. Now I know there's some of you out there that are thinking, dude, how like, what do you mean it wasn't that bad? You know, walking in the hallway every night, hearing monsters. No, I'm just kidding. It's That's my son. Anyways, yeah. Some of you probably thinking, how could you not be scared hearing footsteps in the hallway every night or knocking on the walls? You know, I've had my back touched. Like I said, I've had my back touched before. So that was kind of something. But you kind of get used to it. You know, that was mild stuff. You know what happened? I've talked about this before. I made a video about this. If I can find it, I'll leave it in the link down below so you can watch it if I can find it. But I kind of just got used to it. You know, it was mild compared to, like, I've seen videos where people like documented, you know, hauntings in their house, and they have it bad. They have it real bad, like scary bad. Where I'm like, dude, I don't know if I'd be able to handle that kind of haunting. You know, furniture moving, doors opening and closing by themselves. Luckily, I don't have doors in my house. I don't. So that's one thing I didn't have to worry about. But you know, doors opening and closing, objects moving, people talking in their homes. I'd be watching and you could hear, like, they'd be like, listen. Is there somebody talking in here and I'm alone? And you can hear somebody like whispers and stuff. Oh my God, dude. I mean, yeah, it's scary. Would I be scared? Yeah, I'd be a little bit freaked out. But, you know, and things like, kind of like, it was, in the videos, you can like see things like trying to manifest. Like, you can see like shadows. Like, man, no, dude. God, I'm really getting, like, my hairs are standing up on my arm just thinking about it. I remember watching this one video. This guy was in this house and he was upstairs and he was being like really quiet and the house was empty. I mean, it was like, there's no furniture or nothing in there, you know, and he's in there and look at that. You see the hairs on my arm. I'm just thinking about it. He's in there and he can hear like a lady downstairs singing, and you can hear it on the video, and I'm like, oh my God, dude, I'm getting goosebumps. You can hear this lady singing, and that guy, he's like, man, can you hear that? You know, he's like kind of walking down the stairs, and he slips a little bit. He slips, kind of falls, not really, but he falls a little, and you can hear like a woman laughing. I'm like, oh my God, dude. Dude. Luckily, it never got that bad, but what happened was, you know, I had found a Ouija board at work that somebody threw away, and I brought it home, and that's what it started everything. That's exactly what started everything. And as soon as I gave it away, everything quit. Everything absolutely stopped, except I think, you know, something stayed behind. And my son believes that it was a little girl. You know, he'd seen her a couple of times, and even, you know, we haven't had no activity in this house for probably 3 years, ever since the pandemic happened and we were like on lockdown. Ever since then, I haven't seen nothing, I haven't heard nothing. You know, I say I haven't seen anything, but every once in a while I'll be here like filming or playing a video game, watching a movie or whatever, watching YouTube, and out of the corner of my eye, I swear I can see somebody standing right there. Not like a tall person, but like a short person, right? There's a couple of times where I'll be filming, and on my camera I have a screen that's right here. I try not to look at it like I'm looking at it right now, and there's a little square that goes around my face that tracks my movement. And I remember there's a few times, and I've caught it on video. I mean, you can't see the square, but when I'm filming a video, you see me talk about it, where I'm like, I'll be filming, and all of a sudden it stops tracking my face, and like the square gets smaller and it starts tracking somebody right next to me, and I lose focus on my face, and like it's a little bit blurry. That's happened a couple of times. That's kind of strange. I remember one time I was doing some still shots for my game room tour one year, and I set the camera here on the floor. I'm doing a still shot. I'm facing this way, and all of a sudden, I remember I had one of those little rocker gaming chairs here on the floor, and all of a sudden, you know, out of nowhere, the little tracker thing came up, and it looked like it was tracking somebody sitting there on that little rocker. That, and then, you know, I didn't say nothing, but I was watching like the screen and just watching this thing, and it was like tracking, and all of a sudden it just went away. So, little things like that. But I'm getting off a subject here. What I was going to tell you, I was going to talk about the thing that scared me the most. That scared me the most was the running down the hallway. That one really got to me, because it was right outside the door from the room that I was in. I remember, and I've talked about this, and like I said, if I find that video, I will put the link in the description down below so you guys can go check it out. But Saturday morning, I get up. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. It's dark in the house. I got blackout curtains here in the house, so my house is completely dark. And I get up and I go into the bathroom to take a shower. And my bathroom is right next to my bedroom. I'm in there showering or whatever. I turn the water off. I step out of the bathtub. I'm drying myself off. And I hear my son. Now, my son was asleep at the time. I hear him. He was smaller back then. I hear him jumping. I hear him jumping off the bed, landing on the floor, and take off running down the hallway. And I'm thinking, oh, good. He's awake. I don't have to wake him up. So as soon as I hear him running down the hallway, I step out of the restroom, and it's completely dark in the house. And I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe he's sitting in the living room, watching cartoons or something, right? So I walk down the hallway, and it's completely dark in my living room. And I'm like, what? What's going on here, man? So I turn around. I walk back to my bedroom where it's like pitch black. I turn the light on, and he's laying there fast asleep. That really got to me. I was like, what the hell? I got dressed and I got him up and I dropped him off with his mom. And I believe that was probably like the last thing. Well, not necessarily the last thing that happened here, but the last major thing that I experienced in this house, other than somebody touching me in the back and my son seeing a little hand pushed to the shower curtain while he was taking a shower, and he started fumbling. He was freaking out. Oh God, I got something in my eye. Oh shit. Yeah, he was freaking out, crying. And he thought I was messing with him, and I was back here in the room. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like I said, I had to sit in the bathroom with him while I showered for like a week. But yeah. But nothing has... I haven't experienced anything else in this house. I've experienced stuff at other places, like when I had that video where I went to the haunted house that we had at work, and the door slammed shut on me. That was pretty freaky, In the middle of the day, that's what they talk about, If a house is haunted, the house is going to be haunted in the middle of the day or at night. It doesn't matter. It's haunted. It's haunted. It doesn't matter if it's at night or if it's during the day. That happened during the day. I've had knocking on the walls inside this house, like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, followed by kids laughing. The place is haunted. It's haunted. Doesn't matter what time of day it is. But what are ghosts? What are ghosts? I don't know about you. I don't know what your beliefs are, but I personally believe that when we pass away, we continue. Our subconscious continues. We go on living, not physically, but we continue, right? We're not gone. Well, to the living, we're gone forever, but I believe we continue on. There's another place, another realm that we go to, the spirit realm, spiritual realm, whatever. But what are ghosts? Why? If we continue and we move on to like somewhere else, why are there ghosts that linger, that stay around, that haunt a house? What's the point? What's the point of scaring somebody? Or what if they're not trying to scare you? What if they're trying to get your attention? Right? That's the thing. Like when I watch these videos of these people documenting, documenting their hauntings, and your cabinet drawers are opening, and furniture's moving, and they're hearing things. Is it residual? Well, no, that can't be residual. If they're opening and closing cabinets. I think that's poltergeist activity is what I'm trying to talk about. That's probably poltergeist activity. That's scary, man. Whatever the hell poltergeist activity is, I don't know, man. It's an angry spirit. I don't know. They say, once you pass away, all the feelings you had when you were alive, the anger, the hurt, the pain, it goes away. You're like a pure form, and you're like supposedly happy. But what keeps the spirit here? That has to do the things that it does. Like I said, there's people that they've documented spirits physically hitting them. They'll wake up with bruises, getting pulled out of bed. Are you kidding me, man? Like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. That's why I'm so fascinated with the paranormal. That's why I study on this shit all the time. When I'm not playing video games, I'm reading. I read about it. I want to know more. I want to know what makes a place haunted. Why does a spirit feel that it has to continue in the home? I don't understand. Maybe we'll never understand. Maybe one day we'll figure it out. I don't know, but I would like to know. If I ever get a chance to go ghost hunting, I would absolutely love to do that, man. Absolutely, 100%. To try to experience that paranormal activity again, to see if something happens. There's places they say is haunted, and maybe they're not, or maybe they are, but maybe you have to stay at a place for a certain amount of time. Maybe not one night. Maybe you have to spend a week there or something, right? To experience stuff like this place. It was haunted. My buddy came down for one on a weekend. That night, he heard the footsteps walking down the hallway. He kind of freaked him out. I was like, dude, it happens all the time, man. I don't know what to tell you, but it happens all the time. But yeah, it's October. I got some videos lined up, of course, spooky videos, whatever. Next week, we'll talk about what movies I'm going to recommend you guys watching during the month of October. Some scary, some not so scary, And of course, the Halloween special at the end of the month on Halloween night, which I'll probably get copyrighted for. I always get copyrighted when I do my Halloween specials. I love it, man. I love it. It's been a while since I got a good copyright strike on this channel. So, yeah, it's going to happen. It happens every year. Every year. And I guarantee you it's going to happen again this year. Never fail. And if it does, I'll let you know for sure. But anyways, thanks for watching. Sorry this was such a long rant about hauntings, but hey, man, we're in October and it's supposed to be the spooky season. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.